Hello. This is Eufoxion, and I just want to make some important notes before the video starts. Because this is a tier list on killers and how fun I think, from my opinion, these are to play as. A good amount of the killers are missing because I have not gotten around to playing them yet. And as a result, this tier list is prone to changing, as well as changing when I get more experience with some of the killers that I haven't played as much. I just feel like that's important to note. This is not official yet, but this is the overall standings as of now, around May 16th or so. My opinions on how fun each killer is to play against. I just feel it's important that this is known. Without further ado, enjoy the video. Okay. For a quick refresher then, so that we can finally get on track for most of this. Hey, Editing Fox here. So, Doctor is in the S tier, and I don't believe I actually explained it in the video, so I figure right before the video starts, again, I know I'm delaying it, I figured I might as well let you know why. And Doctor was put in S tier due to a formal agreement with a chatter of mine in the stream. He's supposed to be in Haven't Played because I haven't played him, at least not of the time of this video being up and the time I did the tier list. But due to reasons, I put him in S tier because of the viewer. So yeah, just figured you should know that before the video starts. Can I please change the tier names to letters? No, this is my tier list. Not your tier list, this is my tier list. Why emoji? Because I said so, I don't know. But yeah, I think Trapper is C tier just because he doesn't really feel all that... He doesn't feel bad to play, but he just doesn't feel good either. He doesn't have anything interesting unless you go out of your way to do something like Basement Trapper. So I think he's C for that. And then Wraith is in B just because he is literally bog standard, most simple killer in the game to play. And I've played him a bit, so I can say with confidence, yeah, he's just B. If I want to play him, I will, although there's better options. Moving on to Hillbilly. I have played him a little bit against bots. So I am gonna be nice to Billy when I rank him. I think he is fun to play. It's just that the bots fucking suck as learning material because they're fucking bots. Aspect? Are you talking? What? I'm trying to figure out if this is like if this is autocorrect fucking you up or not, because this has happened in the past where autocorrect has messed you up. On the spectrum of arrow. Okay. Sorry, when they were together, I thought when they were together, I was confused. Yeah, no. That's okay. It's because there wasn't a space between that, so it confused me. The A, the A spectrum. That makes more sense. But yeah, I'm gonna say Billy is honestly, I think he is A tier. I just need to play him against actual survivors and get a little more used to his power. I think he could be fun. I think honestly he could be fun. It's just that bots are fucking annoying, and they don't work well with a lot of killers. And they're bots. You should only really do it if you're lazy or you really just want to goof off and test stuff. And I guess that's what I'm doing. I wanted to test Billy out, at least get a feel for his power. So I think Billy has potential to be an A tier. I think he has potential to be pretty fun. Now you're gonna vanish in bed and never come out. Well, I have plenty of sleep, Celine. Thanks for coming in and tormenting me while trying to do a tier list. Take care. And thanks for stopping by, as always. I am really considering dropping Billy down to B. But I feel like B is more for killers that are generally decent, if even fun, overall to play. While C is the just tier. You are not. You're right. You are not. How foolish of me. I am just speaking lies. There's other types of ways to feel attraction. That's kind of what happens with, yeah. Yes. That is true. Moving on to the nurse. I have played nurse. I think I only played nurse on stream once, and that was the first time I ever played nurse. I've played nurse a few times after. You don't mean to turn the tier listing into LGBT skill. Nah, that's fine. That's fine. I mean, there's still a good amount about the community that I don't know, even despite being a part of it, so. Or at least falling under LGBTQ. Is it LGBTQ, LGBTQIA, LGBT? There's so many. There's so many now. I don't know which one to use. I either do LGBTQ or LGBTQIA, I think. I don't fucking know. They're all the same, similar things to represent the same community, I believe. I don't know. But yeah, nurse. I've played nurse a few. Most can be used. The plus is meant to include those you don't. Right. That makes more sense now. That makes okay. I like that. I like knowing that now. It makes it easier. Yeah. Finally, God, I keep getting. Man, I'm too easily distracted. Nurse. I have played nurse. I've played more off stream, I think, than I have on stream. Although I still haven't played her much. I will say she is actually fun to play, despite being really strong. But it is very different from most of the other killers, it feels. Due to, well, one, ignoring literally everything, and two, I think she has shorter lunge because of her slower speed. Do correct me if I'm wrong on that. But she generally feels, well, I mean, because she is much different than most of the other characters. I think, I wouldn't say she's A tier on how much fun she's to play for me, but I will say she's at least B. I would probably go for her over Wraith. Because I'm still new to Nurse, so being able to stay on my toes and learn with Nurse, I imagine, would make her feel more fun than if I knew the gist of her and how to play her. So I'll put her in B. I'd say she's fun, not anything to write home about, but definitely a good, I wouldn't necessarily say challenge, but definitely a good choice if I want to play, if I really want to play something different. Also, fuck you, music. Oh, it's almost over. Okay, never mind. I'm like, music's almost all percussion now, and I'm getting pissed. I've played Myers, I think, on stream once. I got my adept with him once, playing against the P100, and then I have since not played him at all. I can't say, though, in that one time I played him, he wasn't that bad. He's an M1 killer, so I think he's probably below Wraith, because he has insta-down capability. Actually, yeah, I think that's, I'll leave him above Wraith, because, and that's solely because of his tier 3. His tier 3 feels very nice to be in, and I do like his power, even though it's outdated as fuck. Oh my god. He should be above Nurse. The only reason he's not above Nurse is because he's still at his core M1. And I do still think that since he has lesser lunge and slower speed when he's at the earlier tiers, and sometimes, depending on what you do, you might be stuck in those tiers for a little while longer, and that really does hurt the character. Although, most of the time, you're going to be tier 2, so you can't really count tier 1 too much. Unless you're doing Mirror Myers, I guess. Because of the fact that he's M1, and he does have insta-down, but otherwise is generally just really weak, he's going... I hate to say it, but he is going below Wraith, because at least Wraith has speed with his stealth. Myers has insta-down. While insta-down's fun, I prefer mobility. I've always preferred mobility over, I guess, power, you could say. So Myers is gonna, he's still fun to play, but there's definitely a few more people I would pick over him, but I would definitely rather play him than quite a few other killers. Moving on to what's going to be the most controversial placement on this whole list is Huntress. I have tried playing Huntress a lot. I've tried playing her on stream, I've tried playing her off stream. It might be because I just don't go into it with the right mindset, but most of the matches I've played Huntress, I've never liked her. I will concede a lot of it is skill issue, so I'll say a lot of it is skill issue. I'm not good at her, so of course I'm not going to like something I'm not good at. I mean, most people don't like playing something they're not good at. But the thing is, she's one of those killers where I don't feel myself wanting to actually spend the time and invest in learning her kit. She can do some crazy, amazing stuff in game, and I love seeing really good Huntresses as a survivor, or watching killer gameplay of Huntress, of people that know how to play Huntress. But I really just can't see myself investing time in her when she's very mechanically and map knowledge. She requires a lot of knowledge in both those aspects. She requires a lot of... Oh shit, hi, hey Christy, welcome in. I really... I feel bad because I know that so many people love Huntress, but she just isn't it for me. And I currently don't feel willing yet to put in the practice to get good at her. So this might be a bit unfair and definitely controversial, but I don't think she's fun to play, so she's going in D tier. The names don't really mean that much, I'll say that. If you're ever wondering, these names don't mean jack diddly. I just wanted a funnier way. Not a funnier way, I wanted a more... Hold on a second. Fuck you. Oh, the music is quiet. I just don't want to be like boring. This is S, this is D. I want to be a little more spiced up. But yeah, I've tried a lot to like her. I even got her adept. But whenever I play her, I just find myself too frustrated most of the time. And I don't want to play a killer that makes me upset. I don't want to play a game that makes me more upset than not. And if I were to keep playing Huntress, even if I did start trying to learn her, and I started to learn her, I still feel like the reward of hitting a juicy hatchet, or even downing with one, especially at a long range, wouldn't make up for at least the amount of strife it just gives me whenever I try. Oh, yeah, that is true. People that are good with Huntress on console are fucking insane. People that can actually play, like Huntress or Pyramid Head or Slinger or any killer that actually, if you basically just play, if you're good at playing a killer, that's impressive. If you're good at playing a killer on console, that's twice as impressive, because you're basically learning a killer with, I shouldn't say gutted controls, but you have much less freedom than with keyboard and mouse when you're playing on console. So anyone that's good playing on console are fucking terrifying. Yeah, I know. I see, this is the thing. She's one of the killers I want to have fun with. She is one of the killers I really want to have fun with. Every time I've played her, it's brought me nothing but frustration. And if it keeps doing that, I don't want to keep repeating it and making myself feel worse. I very much agree that it's unfair to judge something when you have no experience or little experience. But at the same time, I don't think that it necessarily forces or entitles you to... I feel like I'm saying something wrong now by saying this, but I don't know. To make the point, I just really don't feel... I don't feel any value in learning her kit any more than doing her adept, and if I guess do in the future. Now that you're in bed, you can annoy me some more. I thought you were gone! I thought you were going to sleep! Oh, welcome back, Celine. Moving on to Freddy. Freddy's C tier. I don't really feel anything playing as him. I will say, playing with pallets is more fun. Now, the problem with that is, a lot of survivors who said anything about sleep. Listen, when I hear bed, I coin it with sleep, because you usually sleep on a bed. I cut me some slack. With Freddy, he's going into C tier though, just because he doesn't really have enough to make him interesting enough to say that he's fun, in my opinion. He's not the worst to play, Because he's got a lot. He has a lot. He has his teleport, which can be used to bait people. I will say, it is fun when it works. Although you don't always know if it works either. And then another thing is also snares versus pallets. Snares are kind of boring, but stronger. While pallets are more fun, but also, goddamn, you'll be damned. You'll be damned if you actually get the pallets to work. Yeah, Freddy's dated. He's dated as fuck. He really needs. I'm just reminding myself of the old Freddy because old Freddy was strong, but in a bad way. Forever Freddy, my god. You like to sleep when you lay in your bed, but it usually ends up. You know, that's honestly fucking facts. I have insomnia like a motherfucker. It takes me 2 hours minimum to start feeling tired when I go to bed. Even if I am tired before I go, it genuinely takes me so long to fall asleep in bed. That damn insomnia. Every time I've played Freddy on stream, I've also just not really felt too much. I might have had a bit of fun here and there, but I generally don't feel much when I play him, similarly to Trapper, so he's going in C tier for that. Pig, ever since those changes to some of her add-ons and the buffs to her ambush, she feels nicer to play. I don't think I've ever played her on stream yet, but she does feel pretty nice to play with the right add-ons. And using some of her yellow add-ons that buff her ambush, her ambush becomes quite fun in those circumstances. I will say, her ambush attack's not great, but it feels really fun to use. I do want to play more of her. I'll put her in B. I think I definitely would prefer her over Nurse. Because even though she is weak, I don't know. I've always liked her ambush. I've always wanted to... I like the fact that she has alternative methods of attacking that's not M1, and I feel like it does offer mind game and skill expression. That's what I like about Pig. I definitely need to play more of her. Spirit, I mean, I literally played her 2 days ago, and she's fun. I'll say it, she's fun. Although, I still have a bit of a learning curve to overcome, and that is actually just being fucking smart and paying attention to my goddamn ears, so that I know when a survivor's next to me, or when I'm past a survivor or not. But no, she's fun. I'd say she's pretty fun. She's not like... Ooh. I don't... She's in a similar case to Nurse. She's in a similar case to Nurse, I think. I'll put her below. I'm gonna put her below. Although... Ooh, Yeah, I think that works. She's fun. I don't really feel... I don't really feel that strongly yet, because I'm not... Again, I haven't played her too much. But... She has been fun when I have played her. Just run Cherry Blossom and that fixes all my hearing problems. It does, you know? It does. I just gotta listen for what... Oh, fuck. Knowing me, I'd somehow miss the heartbeat sounds, and then I'd swing too fucking late. You know what? No. At that point, then it's just skill issue. At that point, then it's skill issue. Just look better. Legion is another polarizing one. I know so many people fucking hate playing against Legion, and I don't blame them. But I've always liked going against Legion, and playing as them is a different story, though. Playing as Legion, it's a 50-50. You are going to have the time of your life, or you're gonna be miserable. You're gonna be more miserable than getting dumped by the fucking person of your dreams when you play a bad Legion match, I swear. Survivors that know to split up, or will bring you, or I can't say bring you to a big map because they don't really know what killer you are until it's too late, but on big... Well, I guess that's just the problem with Legion. If you get big maps as Legion, you're gonna be in for a pain in the ass unless you work around it, or... Unless you work around it or the survivors are dumb. In general, though, I like Legion a lot. It really sucks. Is there any killer that's amazing on big maps? The closest you have to killers that are amazing on big maps are killers with good map traversal, or killers that are very killers that already have like built-in, probably, you know, it's killers that have built-in map traversal or mobility. It's one of the two. Because yeah, this might be controversial. Yes, I think Demogorgon is among killers that have really fantastic map traversal, and that's because of his portals. His portals are. Don't get me wrong. Demogorgon is not amazingly strong, but he's not amazingly weak. He's a jack of all trades. And I'll get to him in a moment. I'll get to how funny he is in a moment, but he's one of the killers. He's one of the killers that I think shouldn't be discredited for map traversal. But this is not about fucking demo yet. We're still on Legion, and because Legion is hit or miss, but I'm a little biased in favor of him, and the good matches usually feel very nice to play, especially when you get that damn frenzy down. Woo. A frenzy, the best feeling as Legion is a frenzy down on a healthy survivor. That is the best feeling in the world. Cross maps, I imagine cross maps are always satisfying to hit because it requires skill to hit cross maps. No matter what, if you're playing Artist, if you're playing Huntress, whatever, cross maps are always going to be satisfying to hit because you earned it if you manage to make it work. But anyway, back to Legion. I'm gonna put him in A tier. Don't get me wrong. The times that he sucks, you're down in the dumps. But if you're playing Legion, you just wanna run around with a knife and go swing. You just wanna. Oh, here comes Protogen. He came in on time when I ranked Legion. Welcome in. Also, if anyone here doesn't know, Doctor is an S tier solely out of principle after a friend of mine told me to, in repayment for getting the DLC. So you know what? It was a fair trade. We shook hands on it. We shook hands digitally. Huntress is pretty. Am I reading? Am I paying enough attention to the chat right now? Fuck, I don't even know. You were gonna say playing Doctor stressed me out. Yeah. Doctor's more in super fun out of a formal agreement rather than my opinion. But you know what? We will weave him there because of the formal agreement. But I guess on a serious note, do know though that realistically he would be in haven't played because I haven't played him yet. But due to the formal agreement, super fun. Moving on to Ghostface, this is easy for me. Ghostface is A tier. He's an M1 killer. He might not be that strong, but he's the most fun to goof off with. He is the easiest killer to be friendly with. And I don't know. There's just it's probably because I like Scary Movie 1. I haven't played a lot of killers. I know. I have not played a third of the roster. That's a shame. It's a damn shame. It's also because I haven't gotten around to playing them. Insert more excuses here. One of them I don't own because they're not released yet. They're in the PTB, and I don't like the PTB. Sorry. But I can only make up so many excuses before I just say I haven't gotten around to them yet, and I haven't felt as strong enough interest in them to actually want to try them out. That's why I'm leaving them in the... Did I know the Scream was originally going to be called Scary Movie? No, but I do know that Scary Movie is based off of the Scream series. It's not that I don't like the PTB. I just don't like the repetition of the PTB. I most of the time when there's PTBs, I've found that I understand that it's repetitive for a reason. It's new content. People want to both test and try out the new content for themselves. And all people want to do that. But I just don't find the playing the same killer and seeing the same survivors over and over again enjoyable. This is the same. Here's the and before you say, well, this happens when the killer gets released alive too. That's true, but that's only for usually the initial, at most initial week during that killer's or chapter, just to say during that chapter's release. You didn't have that issue when you played the PTB. I mean, I could also just be speaking from bad experiences. Although I haven't had negative experiences with the PTB, it's just most of the time when it's new content, there's gonna be a lean towards the new content because, well, again, it's the new content. People want to try it out. I don't find that really engaging or enjoyable. And also, I like playing the new stuff when it's fully released because then it feels like it's in its, I guess, quote unquote, finished state. It's when it's finalized and pushed to live. That's when it feels like it's ready to be, well, I mean, ready to be played in the sense that, oh yeah, we released it for everyone's. We're officially, this is officially the release of the kill. It's a lot of it's about the finality, I guess, of it. I don't want to get accustomed to stuff into PTB. Have it get changed over and have it get changed, even if it's small, have stuff get changed and then struggle to adapt. I would rather learn, well, I mean, I guess this argument doesn't matter when a killer gets reworked eventually, because then you're going to have to no matter what. But I've just always found I like trying the killers when they're fine, or survivors or whatever. I like experiencing it when it's finally released. I mean, that's completely fair. That is completely... Vecna is going to be like another jack-of-all-trades killer. He's got all sorts of stuff at his disposal. I do like that the PTB lets you get a look into the new content, but it's the fact that everyone's going to be doing it. I feel like I can also get, although not as strong of an insight since I'm not witnessing it firsthand, at least I can get a decent idea of it based off of watching analysis videos of people that have played the PTB and their opinions on it. Yeah, his cooldowns do need to be cut down. He's a jack of all trades, but his cooldowns really have been holding him back. I initially thought he was super strong due to how much he had, but like I think I have looked at like stuff like the slowdown and the cooldown, and he really needs a bit more leniency with that stuff. He's got a diverse kit. He just can't use it. The Skelly, I'm assuming the Skelly boys, you mean the ranged attack? Yeah, it's definitely you'd be better off using Artist Crows. You'd be better off playing Artist if you wanted to try using the skeleton skulls a lot. But you can't play Artist and Vecna at the same time, unless they had. No, we're not finishing. They're not finishing that thought. Too much slowdown for how long you need to wait for your cooldowns. Ever since like all the videos showing off both the slowdown and the cooldowns, I don't think anymore he's gonna be like. I get this. When I initially saw it, I thought he was gonna be bottom of A, but after seeing just how much all the slowdowns and stuff were, it's like, oh no. He's gonna be on the weaker side unless that gets fixed. Where even was I? God damn it! I was on Ghostface. That's right. Oh yeah, no, he's absolutely Vecna is absolutely very close to, if not a 10 out of 10 concept-wise and aesthetically. Ads are coming in 3 minutes to own without subs or turbo. Just a little heads up. But yeah, finally moving back to Ghosty. He's A tier. I always have fun playing him. He's the best killer to goof off as, and when you're not goofing off as him and you're playing him normally, which I guess ideally you should be, I don't know. But when you play him using his power intended, it's pretty fun. He definitely feels the best out of all the stealth killers to play, which is a bonus. And he is the best stealth killer, I guess. Clothes wise, because he's wearing dark clothes. Whatever. Moving on to Demogorgon. Demogorgon is predictably another A. He is not. Here's the thing. I like Demogorgon a lot. He's one of my favorite killers to go against, but he just is not. He's not that high playing as him. And that's mainly because of the Master of None. I love that he has a very all-around kit for any situation, but it makes him feel... It does make him feel a little weak then in departments where sometimes you would need that bigger lean into a certain thing, like anti-loop or slowdown, or... Well, I mean, yeah, he technically does have slowdown, I guess, if you include the sealing his portals. But he overall, whatever the fuck. Demogorgon overall is very fun. I can say that. I think almost everyone just universally agrees. If Demo from Stranger Things is one of the most fun killers. Slinger, ooh, you're an interesting case, aren't you? Generally, I really like playing with Slinger. But it's I'm trying to think if he's B or A, because I've played a bit of Slinger. I have definitely played a bit of Slinger, all right. I just don't know whether or not I really like playing as him, or I just I'll put him at top of B. I'll put him at the top of B. I have liked Slinger. And when I picked him up, he felt pretty natural to work into. Although I think the only struggle I have is honestly just the fact that he's a 110% killer. That's the only struggle. Why is Huntress bottom tier? It's where she should be, but why? So the reason why I put Huntress in D tier and why she is so far out of all the killers on the list, the only one I don't like playing, I don't feel enjoyment whenever I play her. I have played her on stream, off stream. I may be inexperienced, which might be, well, it is fucking biased because I'm not experienced, so I don't have the full capability to say whether or not I probably should or shouldn't like a character. I do not like the amount of mechanical skill required to hit her stuff. It doesn't feel... I've tried learning her, but it doesn't feel rewarding whenever I try. Even when I do have good games, it doesn't feel good to play her. I don't really know why it doesn't feel good. It just... I don't feel like I just don't feel willing when I play her to invest time to get good at her when she doesn't give me enjoyment in most times I play him, regardless of if I'm having a good game or not. Top tier Huntress gameplay doesn't even seem that fun like Orbitals. You stand up, move a bit, and shoot up. I mean, that's fair enough. I think the cool thing about Orbitals, the thing about Orbitals is mostly it's the shock factor, I guess. This is gonna be a long stream, isn't it? Fuck. Since I got 3 tier lists to do, this is gonna be a long stream. But yeah, it's just I don't feel willing to invest time in a character that has brought me mostly frustration during my time playing, even if that frustration is due to not being experienced. And it stems from the natural struggle that comes from trying to learn a new character. I do not feel compelled to put in time to try and figure that out. Moving on to Pyramid Head. Pyramid Head is very fun to play against, but playing as him is not as fun as I had expected. Which is a shame, because he's one of the most fun killers to versus, in my opinion. Pyramid Head is one of the most fun killers to go against, but playing as him, I feel like my time's better spent on other ranged killers if I'm going to play other ranged killers. That said, of the times that I have played him, yeah, it's been a struggle, but it's a struggle that doesn't... Ads are done. Welcome back. Pyramid Head is it's definitely a struggle because of, I think it's honestly just because of the way you move when you're using your power. Both the was it the punishment of the damned, I think, his ranged attack, and when you're leaving the trails. I feel like that's what holds him back. It just doesn't feel great to use his power. Although it does feel nice to hit a power if you know, if you manage to either aim it correctly, or I guess get a flick. So that being said, I think he's below, excuse me, I think he's below Slinger in that regard. He's more fun to go against than he is to play, in my opinion. He is fun to play. I just feel he just needs better add-ons as well. Let's be real. He needs better add-ons. The only add-ons worth running, Pyramid Head is just more fun. Huntress, yeah, because at least with Pyramid Head, the struggle doesn't feel as bad as it does with Huntress for me. It could also just be that Huntress, I think Huntress does require more mechanical skill than Pyramid Head. It's just, I don't know. It's hard to say. It's hard. I'll say this one last time about Huntress. I've tried liking her. I just can't. I don't know why. I just can't enjoy her. Moving on to Blight. I mean, predictable. God damn it, get in there. This is predictable. If you've been at my channel for a while now, you know that ever since like October, whenever the Cursed Cats collection came out and I finally started playing Blight, I played the fuck out of Blight and I love the fuck out of Blight. And with the new Blight changes now, although it sucks that they got I really wish they didn't, because what people were complaining about was not slide text in general. People were complaining that you slid off of everything on some maps. But that being said, even if he's not going to be nearly as slidey of a boy anymore, even if he fucking lost all his butter and lube and whatever the fuck he uses to stay slippery, he's still very fucking fun to play. He still has always been a blast to play. Yeah, he's strong, but it's the fast-paced gameplay that it tickles my brain in a good way. That's why I think I loved him when I got him, and not just because of the fucking cat skin. I just loved the fast-paced gameplay of him. Moving on to Trickster. I don't believe I've played Trickster on stream, but I have played old Trickster and new Trickster. And new Trickster feels better than the old one to play. I will say that. And this may be a bit of a surprise. I honestly think, from what I've experienced so far, he is honestly A tier. I have good time playing as him. I like that you have you have main event more often, so you can throw. Maybe I just like fucking throwing a bunch of shit everywhere. That's why I like Trickster, but that's I feel like that's a lot of my reasoning. I like his main event. I like that you can just fucking I don't know. I love the machine gun feel of his power, and it actually feels better. It actually feels better now than it did before. I do think it was a bit overtuned when it was in, what was it? It was like, wasn't it 4 blades per second, the PTB, and then it's 3 now? Or it was changed back to 3? I will say, what? Oh my god. Viper, thanks for the gift sub. I'm sure Protogen's gonna be happy now that they finally don't have to watch ads anymore. Welcome. Yeah, okay. Fuck, that cut me off. But yeah, I think Trickster is I think Trickster's A tier. I think he's fun. I like his machine gun knives. He's nice. Nemesis. Where the fuck do I put you? I don't feel much with Nemesis. His tentacle is nice. I like using his tentacle. It feels very nice to land hits with. Otherwise, I don't really have that much opinion on him. He's fun, but I don't know. he's never one of those killers where if I want to play him, I will, but even if I'm generally having fun, I don't feel much. His zombies were more consistent. Yeah, that's an issue. That's an issue. His zombies are either they're either lovely or they're fucking awful. Both as a survivor and killer. I'm gonna be real. I'm putting him in C. Not because he's. This is based off of how fun he is. I do think Nemesis is fun, but he falls under a similar caveat with Freddy and Trapper, and it's that I don't feel much when I play him. If I don't feel much when I play a character, that means that means they're not as fun as I might say they are, or that they're just not engaging enough for me to be willing to put more time into. I'll still play them if I guess the opportunity is thrust upon me. It's just, I don't know. Getting past his tentacle attack, Nemesis doesn't feel like he has too much to write home about. Cenobite, oh dear. What the fuck do I do with you? Cenobite is more fun to play against for me. I love playing against him, but the only reason I say I love playing against him is just because I love his fucking voice lines. I love that he came. The box. You opened it. He came. I will never get over that fucking voice line. I'm sorry. And just the box in general. I think it's because he's a little different to most killers as well, with how he's got a very unique anti-loop about him that feels generally nice. If I'm being real, it does feel overall nice. His anti-loop. It's just he's very different. He's an edge maxer. He's just very. See, the thing is, I don't know if I dislike him or not, because his gameplay is a little too different for my liking. But I don't know. Oh dear, I don't know. I'm gonna put him in C. I can't say I dislike playing as him, but he feels too different for me to get enjoyment at the moment. I think I just either I need more time trying to figure out his nuances more, or I need to get over my fucking adoration of his damn voice line. I also love that one. I also love when you hook him and then you walk away. I must be going now. I fucking love that voice line. He's held back from me disliking him just because of his voice lines, I guess. I'll say that. Onryō is the only other one that I just don't like to play. And that's because okay. So I've played Onryō when she was weak. I played her when she got changed to her her first change? And then I've played her in her current state, and she's so. I feel like they can't decide what they want to do with her sometimes, with how much they've changed her. Like, yeah, she's not been changed as much as other killers, fair enough. But I just don't understand. I will say, I at least will concede, I think she's probably in a decent mix between her one state and her other state. That being said, I don't know. Maybe I'm just fucking stupid, but something about her doesn't just sit right with me whenever I play her. It's a shame because she's fantastic from a design standpoint, and by design I mean like visuals, aesthetics, thematics. She's one of the most well-designed characters in that regard, but I don't know. It doesn't hit. Maybe. I don't know. She's the only stealth killer that I just don't feel that much for, which is, I don't know. I feel like I just don't feel very in control when I play her, I guess, which it's not a good. I feel like it's not the best way to word it, but I don't know. She confuses me so much. Orbitals mentioned plum pudding supremacy. What? Whatever. Moving on to Dredge. Moving on. What is plum? What do you mean plum pudding supremacy? Yeah, wait a minute. Are you talking about like? Are you talking about like the in like science? You're science maxing. You know what? Whatever. You know what? Whatever. I'm moving on to Dredge. And Dredge is B. He is well, no, I like him more than PP-head. I generally enjoy playing Dredge, but he's undeniably a bit weak. It's a shame. And it's not even his fault. It's the fact that he's locker reliant that makes him that's what makes him hard to play. He's got a pretty nice anti-loop, even if it's not that strong. His remnant is really fun to use if you can make it work. And I think it's really just the fact that it's hard to use his teleportation sometimes when you're not in Nightfall. When you're in, also, I will say, he is fantastic. I love his Nightfall. I love that about him. It brings the horror back into the game, and it actually makes me feel confused, Core. It makes me feel like strong by being in Nightfall, which, I mean, I guess it makes sense. Your power is as expendable as water, or actually air, maybe even. It's just you were terrified. Yeah, I know. His Dredge's fucking Nightfall is amazing. How am I still on the killer tier list? Because I can't just machine gun through everything. I gotta at least. Also, I've been just getting distracted. I'll say that, but I can't just like say this and that and then move on. Dredge is cool. Then you play him and you want to stop because lockers suck. He only feels bad on the maps where lockers are are really bad. That's the issue with Dredge. He on maps where he actually has the lockers in order to thrive, he can feel really nice sometimes. But in those maps that he doesn't have the lockers, he just really doesn't. Like, I think I've played it whenever. I remember I remember playing on Swamp with him before. He feels bad constantly because locks are a thing. I mean, he does have ways to counter that if you consider countering breaking them or using that one add-on, I guess. It does also hinder on the survivors actually locking them, though. Make it so that locks don't affect them during Nightfall. I don't know. I generally enjoy him. I generally do. There's times where he does not feel good. And it's usually on the maps that he just doesn't have lockers, that I've noticed. Otherwise, I quite like him. I've quite liked playing as him. Wesker is... Well, I mean... There's a reason why everyone loves playing Wesker. And why everyone, despite liking him so much, also hate him for seeing him so much. He's fun. He's fun to play. The fuck was that? Was that my computer? No, that wasn't my computer. Dredge, he is being neglected. He does need buffs. Dredge does need a buff. I'll say that. But that aside, I still think I still have fun with him. So I believe that he's on the Fox's fun to play as tier list. He's a B. But this is Wesker's time to shine, and I always liked playing Wesker. There's been moments where I've had a little struggle here and there, but his power feels nice to use. And I honestly, I don't know what to say. He just, so glad they nerfed Wesker. Nerfed in what way? Because if there was recent nerfs or past nerfs, I might not remember. I will say though, his... I haven't seen it too often, but I've seen it once or twice. The newest PTB patch. What did they do to Wesker? Oh, you're talking about... Okay, never mind. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, that is a good change. Thank fuck they changed that. I am so glad that they made it... They reduced it from 50% to like 1% infection when you're unhooked. Thank you. Thank you so much for doing that. Because words cannot express how bad it feels to get tunneled off. As I mean, it's not happened too often. To me, at least. It's not happened too often to me. But when it has happened, it is fucking awful. His hinder from being infected is 4%. You don't get unhooked at 50% infection. Oh yeah, they reduced the hinder as well. That's right. I forgot about that. I'm glad that they made those changes, because that's gonna make him feel, it's gonna dissuade Weskers from actually going for the hook survivor more now. I like that. But no, in general, I think, excuse me, are you gonna play music, or are you just gonna sit there and look pretty? There we go. But in general, I think Wesker's fun. He's not super fun, but every time I've played him, I've enjoyed him. I've enjoyed him a lot. I have not enjoyed him as much as I have with Blight and one other killer. Knight. Okay, so Knight is an interesting case because I have a personal relationship and a professional relationship with him. Personally, smash. I want him to fucking bear hug me. He is a fucking hunk with that pseudo armor on. I'll fall head over heels for him. But professionally, playing as him, he's alright. He's alright. I'll say I definitely find I found general enjoyment as him just when you're not using him to zone too much. I like the multitasking. I like when you play him to multitask, or when I play him to I've liked playing as him when I've played him to do the multitasking over than when I've tried using him for zoning. Although he's better at zoning, I'll say that he's definitely better at zoning. I think he's been more fun overall. He's been more fun to play trying to multitask with him, even if he's weaker in that regard. And so, setting aside my crush for him, I think he's B. Oh, where would he fall though? I'll put him there for now. I'll put him there. I definitely would play him over Myers, but I don't know. I think I feel like I'd need to figure out how to. I mean, I feel like people have already tried figuring out how to maximize a Knight playstyle where you use his guards more as utility rather than straight up zone or chase. I generally, getting aside my fucking crush of him, I generally enjoy him. Singularity, again, if you're part of the, if you've been on the channel before, you probably know this. Singularity is my second favorite killer in the game. Actually, no, fuck it. You know what? Fuck it. We're shocking. We're gonna be shocker. I think Singularity is my favorite killer currently. There is something about his playstyle that, despite initially, so Singularity is a similar case to Huntress, where he fucking sucked to learn, but I wanted to learn him. I knew if I kept playing him, because the thing, I know that if I keep playing with any killer enough, I can eventually perform well. It's all a matter of time. That can be for any killer. But between Singularity and Huntress, the moments where I could feel potential or glimpses of enjoyment to be had during the struggles with Singularity felt incredibly more satisfying, and it invigorated me more to keep going rather than hitting a decent shot with a Huntress hatchet. And since as much as I want to say that I feel like it's controversial for me to fucking glaze and suck up to Singularity so much. I like his macro intensive playstyle. It felt rewarding to learn, and I like that you have to. It's the fact that he has so much going on. It's similar to Blight in the sense that Blight has super fast gameplay, so you always want to this way, that way with Blight. But with Singularity, you're always going to be like this cam, that cam, this cam, that cam. you have to be on your toes all the damn time with him. He requires a lot of attention to the entire map. That's what I think I like about him so much. He's hard to play. He's macro intensive. But because he requires so much attention and to constantly divert your attention, maybe it just fucking triggers something in my ooga booga ADHD brain, but I like that. So he currently is my most favorite killer in the game to play. And then Alien. Alien's alright. They're strong, which is nice. It's nice to have a strong killer to play. I am glad that their tail attack has been toned down from PTB. I'm very glad about that. I think Alien now is in a very, very good spot in terms of strength. I don't think they really need too many changes, except maybe the turrets, I guess? But I don't really know where I'd go on how to change the turrets, because Alien's a case of a killer where you don't want him to be in power. You want to keep him out of power. Or her, him, her. It's like with Oni. It's like with Oni. You want to keep them out of their power, usually, so they can't tail attack you. But maybe it's just because the counterplay is weird. Because you have to rely on turrets. I don't know. I'm trying to decide whether or not they're C or B. Because they're definitely... They feel nice to play when you make them work. But I just... Like with all other killers in C... Killers? Holy shit. With all other killers in C tier. They kind of... So they're strong. It feels nice to do well with Alien, but at the same time, I don't know how much I actually feel strongly when I play as Alien. That's the thing. It's like Alien is like it's like with Nemesis. I like the alternative method of attacking. I like the general quirks and nuances of the character. And although they're fun, I don't feel much aside from it. And that's the difference between I feel like C tier and B tier. For me, is C tier are killers that I just don't feel strongly enough for to put them anywhere else in terms of how fun they are. With B tier, there's at least something about it that I can say is pretty fun, and it's enough to convince me to play him more. But with Alien, I don't know. Alien and Nemi are like teetering on that line between C and B. They're right. They are holding hands, claws, whatever the fuck, tiptoeing on that fucking line between C and B. And the only reason I'm putting them in C is because I just don't know if I feel strongly enough playing as them to say definitively, yes, I have fun when I play them or not. It's not that there's problems with them. Well, I mean, I guess, there's more of a problem with Nemesis that keeps him closer to C tier than Alien, and that's Nemesis is weaker. And sometimes, or what was it? His zombies, it's fucking zombies. I don't know. I think that is the, like, I think that is the tier list, though, on how fun each killer is to play as. This would be much more interesting if, you know, I actually fucking played the rest of the killers, so you can fucking burn me at the stake all you want for that. I'm sorry, I should get around to playing the rest of the roster. I will say, though, based off of watching gameplay of the killers, and from what I understand of how to play them, though, with a few exceptions, I think they all would fall around, probably the middle, leaning more towards, like, B or A. And the only exceptions I could find are Twins, just for being clunky, because I just can't wrap my head around Twins gameplay, even if you can simplify something, but I don't know. With Twins, it's just confusing. Not that she's a bad killer, no. I still struggle to understand her. Skull Merchant, I still have, admittedly, some scars with. But I also I think I just feel intimidated by the power bloat. Cause yeah, if we're going down to it, it's placing drones and then swapping their direction. But there's also the undetectable and the haste. It's a lot. It feels like a lot of little things that add up there. Then there's also there's also the tracking. I don't. Again, there's a reason why they haven't played and why I'm not giving them an official ranking. I don't know if I would enjoy her or not. But this is the tier list for how fun each killer is to play. A lot of stuff could probably be, a lot of stuff in C and, okay, the first two in C and all of B tier can probably be moved around. That aside, I think all of these are overall, I think generally where I could let them stand. Billy might be dropped to B when I play him live, if I find okay, Billy, the only reason I'm being nice to Billy is because the few times I've had success when I've tried Billy, even if it's against bots, it shows me the potential of fun to be had when I play with people, and I like that potential that I saw. So because of that, I think I overall would say he's nice. Just put turn rate add-ons on him, or else goddamn he's gonna be a bit miserable. Yeah, for the last time though, this is the killer tier list on how fun they are to play. Ads are coming in a minute.